I recently got myself a knee injury from running. I suddenly had a lot of spare time on my hands, and I wanted to do something productive with it. Because I already knew a little bit about what it takes to become good at chess, I decided to pick up juggling. First of all, juggling is a great way to take your mind off of something because it requires patience and focus. Just like walking down the stairs with a knee injury. I really wish the refrigerator and my room were on the same floor. Juggling is also great exercise. By juggling for just 1 hour, you burn as many calories as you would have if you had been asleep for 5 hours. Just keep that in mind the next time you go to bed with the intent of losing weight. If you had stayed up all night juggling, you wouldn't have had to sleep the next 4 nights. At least not if calorie burn was your only reason to sleep. And juggling all night would probably also result in an elbow injury. Juggling also affects your brain by increasing the amount of gray matter it has in it. So I guess if gray matter is what you're after, juggling is for you. Lastly, juggling allows you to manipulate your watch into thinking that you've taken a lot of steps. If I haven't made it to 10,000 steps at the end of the day, I always sit down and juggle until I hit my goal. This may not have the same effect on my body as walking, but as we all know, in the end, it's the numbers on the Garmin watch that matter. Juggling is simply the act of keeping a certain number of balls in the air by throwing and grabbing them. Because I'm the greatest teacher in the world, I've illustrated it here. Now that you know how to juggle 3 balls, it's time to give it a try. If you're anything like me, your first try is gonna go something like this. We got this. But I'ma be honest with you right now. I'm pretty sure my first try actually went something like this. And I know what you're gonna say. But that's not even possible. I didn't think so either. When you're just starting out, it might be beneficial to just start with a single ball and trying to throw it from one hand to another, following as smooth of a curve as possible. And then, by adding just 1 ball at a time, your brain will have time to adapt to focusing on 2 or more things at once. I guess I'm starting to see why juggling affects your brain. Juggling is an incredible form of procrastination because it allows you to feel like you're being productive, despite that not being the case at all. Just like making YouTube videos. But it's also possible to procrastinate within juggling. Wow, that's very deep. Once you've learned how to juggle 3 balls, you might feel pretty confident. But luckily that confidence can easily be killed by a quick Google search. At some point you might even feel intrigued to figure out what that 4th ball that came with the 3 other when you purchased them is for. But that's only until you realize how much harder it is to juggle 4 balls. You might go back to 3 for a while, but only until you get bored and feel like you have to learn 4, despite not wanting to. Luckily, there's a solution. Welcome to the beginner-friendly and not at all overwhelming world of 3-ball tricks. Now you can postpone the struggle of having to deal with another ball by replacing it with the struggle of having to alter the motions you've just spent hours refining and making consistent. Generally, the more you practice, the better you'll get. Therefore, consistency and patience is the key to achieving your goals. Unless you want to become the world's best juggler, which to be honest is probably already too late, you won't have to spend more than 15 minutes a day practicing to notice significant progress. With this amount of practice, you should even be able to nail 3 balls in about a week, if not even less. And if you're worried about practicing too much, I would suggest you follow my rule of thumb. If your shadow is stuck juggling, then you've been practicing for too long. Otherwise, keep going. And now I know you might be asking yourself the question, have I got what it takes to learn how to juggle? And to answer your question, I'd like to test you. What I want you to do is to pause this video, like it and subscribe to the channel. If you can't handle those 3 things at once, I would probably go for something easier with fewer balls like basketball or something. So if you haven't tried juggling by the end of today, I'm gonna assume that you either failed the test or haven't got the balls for it. In which case, I'd recommend you go buy some.